Hopkins posts. He'll follow in the footsteps of Stanley Ketchell, Harry Greb, Carlos Monzon, Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Robinson as the greatest of his generation. Is he that accomplished, or is he just a good, strong, defiant fighter? Maybe William Joppy will tell us more. The start is crucial. Who gets into the rhythm first? And can Joppy surprise Hopkins as he promises he will?
Come on, pull your arm out.
But Joppy can punch himself, so he's got to command respect. But can he outbox Hopkins? That's the big question, as you say. Can he stay away and outbox Hopkins?
The black and white trunks of the three-time middleweight champion William Joppy from Silver Springs in Maryland. 33 years of age. Hopkins almost 39, turns in January. Will Father Time catch up with him? He looks, as always, in absolutely spectacular shape.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Hopkins, not a big one-puncher, but he's very persistent, very accurate, a good technical box fighter, and tends to wear his opponents down.
Joppy, the underdog, because of what happened with him and Felix Trinidad in the middleweight unification tournament. He was floored and beaten in 5 as Hopkins gets in an uppercut.
Come on, your hands free. Get your hands free. Come on. Come on, pull your hand out. Pull your hand
Hopkins' biggest win over Trinidad.
Come on.
Can he cement his legacy here? He says he wants to go on and defend the middleweight title 20 times. Big talk, but he's big stuff.
Scrappy opening round as they both vie for the openings.
Combinations from Hopkins look powerful. Seems so much bigger at the weigh-in than Joppy. He's got 3 inches in height on him.
Such brilliant condition for 39 next month. Good body shot from Hopkins.
Fast punches. Many in boxing say there is no glaring weakness in the Hopkins makeup at all. Last loss 1993 to the brilliant Roy Jones Jr. Absolutely no disgrace in that, but a decade unbeaten.
I think that's the point. There is no weakness. Everything he does well. Oh, good left hook. And he's winning this first round.
Okay, stop punching. Walk it out. We gotta walk it out. We gotta walk it out.
It's a good start from Bernard Hopkins.
On the back.
William Joppy struggling to meet him in the first round.
Yeah, I'd be very happy with that start. Not out of breath at all.
All right.
I'd be pretty sad if I was the corner there with Hopkins coming back to me.
Take it easy, stay on the dime. Take it easy, stay on the corner.
Joppy, a good fighter himself though, and he's very much in this fight.
47th of Bernard Hopkins' career, 38th of William Joppy. They are quality operators, the pair of them. They've been kept apart for so many years, and there's been a real needle brewing all the way through the build-up. Press conference, problems on the stage when Joppy thrust Hopkins back. The $50,000 bet, which is that Hopkins will pay Joppy if Joppy gets through the whole 12 rounds, even if he loses. He's got to stop him.
Stop punching. That was clean.
Looks strong and compact, Hopkins.
Very accurate, that's the one thing about Hopkins. But if you go through his last 7, 8, 9, 10 fights, there's no early blowouts there. He usually wins late and does so by working his men over continually.
Wearing them down with shots from all angles. precision, and eventually power.
That's right, exactly. And Joppy is seems to be terrified when they get close. Holds on straight away.
Extremely nervous all week, William Joppy, as he does get before a fight. That's a better jab from him. Refused to be intimidated by Hopkins, but was stuttering through his press conference on Wednesday. I wonder if he, deep down, may believe this is a bridge too far. Coming back from personal tragedy, his 5.5-week-old daughter died in July, and emotionally drained, he rebuilt and refocused for this, the fight of his long boxing career. Good body shot from Hopkins.
And a good jab back. Again, Hopkins just a fraction on top in his second for me. What do you think, Joppy? Only 3 fights in the last 3 years. It's not much. He's not a youngster anymore, and maybe that'll tell as the fight wears on.
Yes, he could so easily have been beaten by our own Howard Eastman. If Eastman had just done that little bit more, pushed the gas through the 12 rounds.
He tired very badly in that fight, was down in the last, and Eastman could well have won that, probably should have won it.
Are we talking about a fine fighter against just a simple world-class operator? Maybe there is a grade between them. It looks like it to date. There's the Joppy corner, led by Adrian Davis, as always. No real alarm bells or major concern yet, but he's got to get a foothold in quickly. The feeling was that if Joppy could start fast, maybe that would make Hopkins struggle, but he hasn't.
Well, they said they had Hopkins' number, they could outbox him, and they're not doing that so far for me anyway. I think Hopkins has just edged the first 2, and they were surely willing to look at winning the first 2, Joppy.
See predominantly white trunks of Bernard Hopkins from Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. He has so many fans here tonight, including Alan Everson of the 76ers, the all-star basketball player, to support him. Joppy in black and white. Big historian of the game. Nice guy out of the ring, born-again Christian. But Hopkins is such a nasty, dangerous guy in between those ropes.
He is technically very good at everything. His defence is good. His balance, his countering.
Joppy trying to get close with the jab. But where's the movement around Hopkins as he said he'd do?
Well, he's not working. He's frightened of being counted and getting caught, and that's why he's just stopped working, really. Doesn't know how to throw and not be caught.
America's Ring magazine, considered by many to be the Bible of boxing, rated Hopkins as having the best jab, best left hook, best uppercut, best body puncher in boxing. That's not bad.
He's topping out almost every list there.
I think Roy Jones may have something to say about that, and Floyd Mayweather at ringside, as we mentioned earlier. But Hopkins is getting through to Joppy, whose defence looks open. Remember the punch resistance. He went down against Howard Eastman, and he was blitzed by Felix Trinidad.
Both massive punches, though, you have to say that. Trinidad, a natural puncher, so is Eastman. Very big punches, both of those, so you can't read much into that. Late in the fight against Eastman, of course.
Hopkins has 31 knockouts, though, but he's complaining about a low blow here, and his timeout called by Earl Morton to let him recover from that. Not often you see the executioner wincing with pain.
No, and it must have hurt him, that's for sure. I didn't notice the low blow. Could have been on the blind side to us.
Not everyone's cup of tea, Bernard Hopkins says, like old Blue Eyes, he'll do it his way and only his way. He's fallen out with promoters and managers. He He tried to get him matched with Joe Calzaghe, at least Frank Warren did. Seems to have fallen through for now. He's looking for the big guns. Shane Mosley, Oscar De La Hoya, but he's got a deal with a classy middleweight here.
I don't think he's big enough for Joe Calzaghe. He's not got the power to keep a big man like Calzaghe away.
Slightly biased there.
Very probably, but no, I think that he's not big enough for a 12-stone man and a big 12-stone man like Calzaghe.
You may be right. Adrian Davis.
Very good. Suck it in. You're doing beautiful. Now the jab is landing. Real small ring. Don't fight it. Put the bucket down. Put the bucket down. Don't make a reach for it. Yeah. Suck it in. Get that grease on him. Looking good, Joppy. That's what it is. And now try to send that right hand or the right uppercut. Because he's going down. And you're doing right here. Get down. That stops everything. Give me some more grease, please. I want some more.
Like the use of his jab in that round. Wants the right hand to go through. Says, you're looking good, Joppy. Hopkins calls him sloppy, Joppy.
Yeah, I don't think he is looking good. I mean, he's looking good, of course, but Hopkins is winning it for me. I don't think they should be praising him too much. Hopkins got caught more in that third round. Joppy did come back into it, but for me, they shouldn't be praising Joppy. They should be making him work harder and get more involved.
Fourth round, world middleweight title, the real thing on the line here. WBC IBF, WBA super champion Bernard Hopkins, ordinary champion William Joppy. Don't worry too much about that. What you have got is the two best 11 stone 6 pound fighters in the world today. Again, Hopkins backs up Joppy. Uppercut, strong body shots. Joppy looking disorganized.
Oh, he's going for it here, isn't he?
Oh, this is class from Bernard Hopkins.
The right uppercuts inside, they're crafty.
It's a real treat for the viewers back home, Nicky, to see Bernard Hopkins, because he really is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters.
Yeah, he is. No weaknesses at all in his armory.
This is a man who was in hospital after knife attacks for 6 months with a punctured lung when he was a kid. Rumble on the streets of the Badlands area in North Philadelphia. Lost his debut at light heavyweight. And only one other defeat to Roy Jones in his career. That's something.
Yeah, it's special. And Joppy coming forward more now.
Shakes his head as one right hand gets through from Joppy, who's not a big puncher. Might have to do it the long way. The Silver Springs man. There's a place just outside Washington, D.C., Joppy.
He's in no trouble yet, but he's just being outboxed. Good jab from Joppy.
That's what his camp want him to do. If you can throw more of those and open the guard of Bernard Hopkins. Heads come close.
There's a good left to it. Back comes Hopkins.
Right hand was a peach of a shot. Best of the contest from Bernard Hopkins here in the fourth.
It's getting much closer, Adam. Joppy's making a fight of it now.
Vashti there on the back of William Joppy's trunks. That was his young daughter who so tragically died. He has 3 other children, not a brash, flash man by any stretch of the imagination. Wants to do things for his family.
Yeah, he's had a hard last year, isn't he? That's probably why he's been out of the ring for so long as well.
Okay, you gotta put a little pop on that jab for me, baby. Put a little pop on that jab. That's what I need, pop on the jab.
All under control from Bowie Fischer. How did he score that one?
I gave it to Hopkins, but it's getting much closer. A round I wouldn't have argued if it went the other way, but gave it to Hopkins. Good body punches too from Hopkins. And the right hand, clever stuff. Right hook to the body, straight right hand to the head. I mean, you know, not the usual sort of combination.
Double up.
Good stiff jabs, too. Good stiff jab.
Pop it in his pop the jab in the front.
Pop the jab, good stiff jab. And Joppy landed with a couple of himself.
He did. That both corners are saying use the jab. Interesting.
282nd round of Bernard Hopkins' career, 201st of William Joppy's. They've never met until now. It was possible in that middleweight unification tournament. Joppy lost to Trinidad, and Hopkins beat Keith Holmes, the wily southpaw from Washington, D.C. And when they met in the final, Bernard Hopkins had the night of his life.
And Trinidad's been back in the ring before the fight, of course. I wonder if they're trying to build something back up here. Should Hopkins come through?
Trinidad says he's retired. Bernard Hopkins certainly isn't, with the right hand over the top. Starting to increase the volume, as so often he does. What we're watching, Nicky, is world class here. So many domestic fights for the year, but there's shifts in the plot, there's little nudges and winks and moves.
He does nothing wrong, does he? Everything he does is correct and with a meaning. His balance is perfect, he never seems to lose his balance. Even in the infighting here, everything is thought about.
First world middleweight champion from Philadelphia, probably the best fighter since Joe Frazier to come out of the city with the Liberty Bell. Joppy trying to back Hopkins up.
Good right hand got through.
Again, they come together.
It's getting a little bit sloppy, but I can't see so far Hopkins anywhere close to stopping Joppy.
Looking for the range, William Joppy. But again, every time Hopkins lands, they seem to have that slight more effect on Joppy.
It's just shorter, classier work too. Joppy trying the long 1-2s, left, right, but the more telling shots being done by Hopkins for me.
Joppy, who first won his world title out in Japan. As we close on the 5th round here, Joppy putting the pressure on Hopkins, starting to get a bit of confidence going.
Yeah, Joppy, you know, for somebody so confident and wanting to stop his man, he's going backwards here. Joppy getting back into the fight a bit.
Hopkins just retreating for the first time there. Better round for William Joppy. That'll give him a great deal of self-belief.
Yeah, and he needed that too. But for me, Hopkins still seemed to be in control. He wasn't working so hard, but he was in control.
Stay careful though, champ. I want you to stay careful, because he's dirty. He's dirty. And but 2 minutes in the back behind the paint, go down a little bit to do it. If you 2 minutes behind the back, let's walk down. Let's go again to that. Open up one more time.
Adrian Davis, the wise old man in the corner. There's the hands of the cut man, Cassius Green.
Now try to get that right.
He'll be in his ear all night too.
Yeah,
Well, there's no emotion there at all. There's so, I suppose, confident. He looks downbeat, does Hopkins, but he's just so confident in what he's doing. He's got his plan. He thought he'd take a break there, and I'm sure you'll see him come back out and try and get on top in this 6th round.
First fight for 14 months for William Joppy, who went out to Tokyo and stopped now Toka Hozumi in 10. John Coyle, our referee, did that one and said it was an excellent performance by William Joppy. 5 years younger remember than Hopkins, will that come into play?
Well, we'll see. Hopkins had a quiet 5th round, but I think he chose to have a quiet round.
I got you.
I mean, at some point, the wheels have to come off Bernard Hopkins. He can't do this forever.
Good right hand over the top from Joppy.
Oh, body shots. Look at the speed and variety.
Keep your hands free.
The crisp punching
Come on, bro.
from the executioner.
Come on. Keep it free.
Trying to break him up on the
Good body
inside.
shots, yeah.
Okay, who's holding? Come on, William.
Just turns the screws every so often, Hopkins.
He knows when to apply the pressure and when to take a break. I don't see him stopping Joppy tonight, though. You know, these are the 2 best middleweights in the world. Both technically very, very good.
Yeah, few stoppages at the very top level. Joppy blames the Trinidad loss on the fact that he says the Puerto Rican had illegally wrapped hands. He also said he got caught up in the hype and went toe-to-toe, something he won't do with Hopkins.
I don't believe all that illegally wrapped hands stuff. Unless you've got a bit of metal in your gloves, I don't think any bandage can add that much power to a punch. Maybe protect the hands, but not add to the power of the punch.
What was so impressive was the way that Bernard Hopkins outboxed the boxer in Felix Trinidad as he backs Joppy up here with strength. And look at that uppercut.
This is classy work inside from Hopkins. Really good stuff.
At the moment, a bit too much of everything. Outgunning William Joppy.
Back on top in the 6th round.
Pull it back. All right, stop punching. Walk it out.
Oh, just a languid look there from William Joppy. I think this infighting doesn't suit him at all. And Hopkins grows in stature. Oh, he's one very, very hard man, Bernard Hopkins.
A brilliant finish to that round from Hopkins. And there for the first time I saw him getting on top, really getting on top. And Joppy just looked a little bit tired.
Quick, don't worry about the power.
Here we see the infighting. Short uppercuts from Hopkins, hooks around the head, works the body well too. He does everything inside so well. That was early on in the round, but at the end of the round he started to get to Joppy. His defense is good, everything's good inside.
Bernard Hopkins, who is controlling this for you, Nicky, and for everyone here.
4 rounds up for me is Hopkins. Only the 5th round went against him.
First won the IBF middleweight title with a 7th round stoppage against Secundo Mercado. And as we enter the second half of this, his reign of 8.5 years doesn't look like it's going to be broken. William Joppy has a great deal of work to do in the black trunks, the black boots, out of the blue corner, and Maryland. Those body shots and that jab, every punch from Hopkins looks to have impact.
Well, Joppy needs to keep this long and he's not doing that. This suits Hopkins in close.
Yes, to give Joppy a chance, you'd have thought he'd have to box on the outside, beat Hopkins to the punch.
Exactly, and he's not doing it. That's what he said he would do, but is it tiredness now? Now Hopkins looks to be getting to Joppy. Now for the first time I'm seeing a bit of panic in Joppy's face and work.
Using the experience to rest on Joppy there. Show him his physical strength that he's needed to get through the challenges of John David Jackson, Glenn Coffey Johnson, Simon Brown, Robbie Allen, Antoine Eccles. It's a great list of decent fighters, and Hopkins has beaten them all.
And he's stepping the pace up.
Cassius Green animated in Joppy's corner, leading with their charge to get his feet around Hopkins, light on his toes, but he's already looking heavy-legged.
Yes, he is. He's not moving away now. Every time Hopkins comes through, he just grabs on.
The smart money said a middle to late round stoppage for Bernard Hopkins. Another body shot digs in under the right elbow of William Joppy, who fires back with an uppercut, but it has no effect at all on Hopkins.
That's good, a little faster. His combinations are inside. He's second best inside. Joppy needs to move out.
Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones, until recently Marco Antonio Barrera, all vying for the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. This is definitely one of the top three.
Yeah, I still think Jones is up there as the best, but Hopkins is very close.
Joppy being smothered. Again, Hopkins targets the body.
Another round, sits down, breathing a little more heavily, but very comfortable.
Well, what can William Joppy do? Is there anything, or does he just not have the tools to deal with a Hopkins on this sort of
No,
form?
he's not got the tools. The only way he can win this is to get lucky with a punch, I think. And suddenly Hopkins maybe grow old overnight, but I don't see him having the tools to do this job. Hopkins is looking superior in every department.
Everything we need is right there.
Keep them in here. Let's go. Anyone outside with kick it. Take the football with him. Keep the shoulder.
All right, seconds out.
There's more of a deflated look about William Joppy.
Stop punching on the bridge.
Nothing really has gone right for him. He must be a mile behind on the cards already. He has stopped 25 in his career. He doesn't have that one-punch power to really change a contest, and Hopkins has always had a rock-solid chin.
I think that's the point. He doesn't have the power to worry Hopkins. He can worry most middleweights in the world, but not Hopkins. Oh, good right hand from Bernard Hopkins.
He's got guts and heart, William Joppy. Come back from that Trinidad loss. But Hopkins is artillery. Blimey, it is pretty outstanding. How do you think Hopkins would fare against the likes of De La Hoya, Mosley and Calzaghe, who you believe beats him?
Yeah, I think with Mosley and De La Hoya, he beats them. But I don't think he beats Calzaghe. Calzaghe's a very big super middleweight.
Hopkins, De La Hoya, what a fight. If De La Hoya is strong at middleweight.
Yeah, Hopkins beats De La Hoya, no problem.
Right hand from the side of Joppy's head. All disorganised, can't get out of the way of Hopkins. It's becoming a real struggle for William Joppy inside there now.
He's working well, he's firing back, to be fair. But he's just that one half step behind Bernard Hopkins.
Look at the accuracy Hopkins gets with those body shots with the left hook.
And they're all really hard, you know. He's not the biggest of punchers in the world, but every shot is delivered with power. There's a sting you can hear with every punch. Good left hook.
Oh, left hand from Hopkins went straight through.
Yeah, and Joppy now going backwards.
Driving the punches home now. Bernard Hopkins, maybe he's sensing that Joppy is wilting ever so slowly, round by round, chipping away.
I can see it now. 2 rounds ago, now we can see it. And forget the smart money being on Hopkins winning inside. What for me does it is Hopkins' money says he's going to win inside.
You said he wouldn't. You're changing your mind now.
I am. Before the fight, I thought he'd win inside late stoppage. In the early rounds of this fight, I thought there's no way he's going to stop Joppy. I can see it now. He believes he could do it and wear the Joppy down, and I think he will.
It's better movement from William Joppy, but there's a shudder in his body every time he gets caught with 1 or 2 of those rib crunches.
Walk it out,
And he's getting caught more often now too. Another round for Bernard Hopkins. He's very tired as he
Just
sits
kick his
down.
legs off. Kick his legs off. Keep your hands high this time, Joppy. And when you're inside, start throwing right hooks at the inside. Something different. You threw a left hook in corner. Yeah. You only throw. You got to start throwing the punches. You're not throwing enough punches. Throw the right hand now. Stick to the 1-2.
They know it's all going wrong.
Yeah, this is Hopkins' fight he's fighting here, but he hasn't got the energy to stay away. Good left hook, right hand left hook again. Here we see it. He's the master of fighting inside. Just evades the left hook over the head. Got caught with that right hand, but comes back with a better left hook of his own.
Out.
Bernard Hopkins dominating affairs in this world middleweight title clash. Remember in the white trunks, white boots with the grey and the executioner mark on them. The predominantly black with Joppy across the waistband of the man from Silver Springs. Part of Asim Rahman's team managed by Stan Hoffman and Steve Nelson. We were so confident before this that he would have the style to unravel Hopkins, and we've seen how Corey Spinks had the style that Mayorga couldn't handle, but I'm afraid Bernard Hopkins has been simply far too good.
When you've got a good boxer like William Joppy in your camp and you see the skills he's exhibiting against his sparring partners, you get the idea maybe against somebody like Hopkins who's very compact but doesn't fight from a long range, that he can keep away, but he can't.
It was a better right hand over the top from William Joppy. But look at Hopkins walk through it.
He's upset him.
Backing Joppy up. Left hook was big. Starting to get busted up again with the uppercuts.
He's got to land with something big now, Joppy. He's got to get a bit of success. Needs a big right hand or something like that, but that didn't quite land.
Pull the hands straight. Pull him down.
Hopkins too cute and clever. Can see most of them coming. What impresses us is the way that he forces his punches home, takes absolutely no backward step, and they all seem to be thrown quantity and pure quality.
And just always seems to be in range. He's really stepping the pace of it. This is a man who's 39 in a few weeks' time, and he is incessant in the way he comes forward.
He says age is no barrier. Look at my face, listen to me talk. I've looked after myself in the ring, and that's come from living a barren life, training every single day, and this is the result. You can't con in boxing at the highest level.
No, you get found out. Oh, good right hand, following 2 little left jabs from Hopkins.
Again, it's the uppercuts coming through on the inside. Joppy, bewildered, hurt, and being outboxed and outclassed.
Oh, right uppercut inside from Hopkins, and again.
Oh, you could feel that here at ringside. William Joppy has had to take 3, 4 huge right uppercuts, and it's very rare you say something is a masterclass or pretty punch perfect, but look what you're watching tonight.
Yeah, this is punch perfect, exactly. Here we again we see it. Little uppercuts inside, hooks, body punches. Look at that shot. Oh, that's painful. He's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, no doubt about it. Hooks, uppercut, looks, this was the end of the round. Another one comes through in a moment, just misses.
Earlier tonight, Zab Judah gave us a great opener with a one-round win over Jaime Rangel. Travis Sims took the World Light Middleweight title in 5.
Seconds out.
John Ruiz beat Hasim Rahman in a rather soporific heavyweight title fight on points, and in a much better affair, Corey Spinks took the undisputed welterweight title. Ricardo Mayorga beaten, derailed the Nicaraguan showman. Here's the world middleweight title, and you're seeing Bernard Hopkins really step up the gears now, apply the pressure, and
Stop punching, stop!
I feel he really wants that, not just the money, but he wants that stoppage to prove something.
Yeah, he does. Well, he's been showing off for weeks now, saying he's going to get the stoppage.
Let's go. Raise it up.
Here we go. But he's got 3 rounds, and he's so fit.
Look at that, head to body, and then the right hand. They're coming from all angles, and William Joppy's the number 2 in the world, and he's not even in the races.
No, he's not nowhere near. Right hand again, and he's non-stop, Hopkins now. We won't see a break from him.
Just stabs his eye there, Bernard Hopkins, as heads bumped together. No real damage. The only damage is being done to William Joppy.
Great right hand. So well disguised. Straight down the pipe, as they say. Right from the shoulder. Didn't show it at all.
Is it safe to say, Nicky, there is absolutely no way back for William Joppy?
No, I don't think so. He's got to get really lucky with a big punch, and I can't see it happening.
I break. Come on.
Too fast, too good, too strong, too much. Look at that left hand, knees buckled of Joppy there.
He's holding on. Hopkins just saw the punch coming, step back through the left hook.
Oh, right hand. He's starting to take more and more with increased regularity. Wonder if Earl Morton will start having a look fairly soon.
Well, I don't think Joppy can see this fight out now. He's hurt, he's holding on, he's tired, and Hopkins is not going to stop.
He's tried his hardest, William Joppy, but there has been a gulf in class, even at this, the very highest level of middleweight boxing. Hopkins was saying beforehand that if he beat Joppy, it was a bit of a hiding to nothing because Trinidad had already done so. But you've got to look at this performance as the swelling on the right side of Joppy's face gets worse.
The right hand count is getting through again. I think Joppy's going to get through this 10th round at least.
There's the clapperboard. Looks like he'll survive this one, but it's another round down. It's all Bernard Hopkins.
Sit down, Sam, sit down.
Back in Mosul, Iraq, they are still glued to this big promotion, as they have been for the last 5 hours, and they've seen some quality fights tonight, and they're watching one of the best in the world. They must love that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, okay, the fight's not, it's not an even money affair where both fighters are going into, but they're watching a masterclass in boxing here. Hopkins, unbelievable, right hand straight, couldn't be seen. Accuracy is terrific. That's the same shot from the reverse angle, and it just shows how hard it is to defend from those shots. Swelling's on the face of William Joppy. He's taken quite a bit of punishment tonight.
Seconds out.
William Joppy looks a beaten man.
Yo, let's get that water.
Many stoppages late on Bernard Hopkins' record this round against William James and against Clint Coffee Johnson. Will he go for it now?
Oh yeah. Hopkins came straight out and landed a big right hand left hook.
He says $50,000 is a lot of money for someone who came from the projects. Will he win the bet? Will he stop William Joppy? It looks ever more likely.
Look at that swelling on the right cheekbone of William Joppy. Suddenly come up.
And there's another one on the forehead, and the body is being attacked from all sides. Oh, uppercuts have been quite brilliantly executed by the executioner.
The referee has been quite lenient here, allowing Joppy to hold on.
This has not been a boxing classic, but it has been a classic performance from Bernard Hopkins, who shows there is still plenty more in the tank, even at nearly 39.
Well, his fitness levels are terrific. Absolutely. Oh God, sickening punches for William Joppy.
What a shame he's talked himself out of multi-million-dollar fights with the likes of Mosley, De La Hoya and Calzaghe. He's only picking up about $325,000 for this. It's unbelievable, really, when you consider how great a fighter Bernard Hopkins is.
Much less than all the major fighters in the world. Much less.
Come on, pull it back, William.
Still Joppy remains in there, bravely taking his pounding, trying to come back. Nothing left to hurt him.
Well, big right hand from Joppy. Can he get lucky? Nothing to lose.
Yeah, he's got to go for it. Needs an emphatic knockout. Nothing else will do.
Well, he's got 25 grand to lose, that's for sure. Or 50 grand to win if he stays the distance.
And think of the money he'd make if he had won this unified title. Left hook to the body once more. Joppy looks at his corner in pain. Just dabs at that boil that's come up on the right-hand side of his face. A torrid night for the Maryland middleweight.
Well, it's all or nothing now
Give me somebody.
for both men.
Give me the mouthpiece. Get here. Come on, lift it up, baby. It ain't over yet. Come on, we gotta bite this guy. Huh? How come you got dropping his right hands or left hooks? You gotta throw those. Believe me, Joppy, those. I don't know. Oh, damn. The last round, Lord. Suck it in, Joppy.
It's the last round, Lord have mercy.
Give it to her, throw 1-2s and 1-2-3s.
Well, it's a massive lead for Bernard Hopkins.
There's your card.
Yeah, it's a 9 points. He's only lost the one round so far in the fifth, and even that was close, but Joppy tried the harder. But no, it's a clear victory for Bernard Hopkins, and maybe the scorecards are not required.
The crowd take to their feet and applaud the display that Bernard Hopkins has put on in this world middleweight fight. Can he stop William Joppy under 3 minutes? And Joppy, of course, we are positive needs a knockout. Maybe he won't go down with the greats like Monson and Ray Robinson and Hagler and Ketchel, but in our generation, Nicky, we'll remember him.
Oh, we certainly will, and possibly won't be down, because the only really big fighter he's boxed, Jones, he lost to. Jones is brilliant. There's been nobody else to really give him a super fight. That's the problem. Good left hook there, lands from Hopkins.
And the uppercut. Oh, he's desperate for the stoppage. Can Joppy last? Look at him come back. He showed a lot of grit and heart, William Joppy, tonight. He's taken his lumps, bumps, bruises, and shots from all sides, but he's still there fighting back. A true warrior.
Yeah, he is. And he's looking for that shot now. He's having a go, let's be fair.
his head go. Get off
Good
his head.
body punches inside the uppercuts from Hopkins. Great shots again.
Oh, Hopkins really going for it. Referee has a closer look. Not much coming from Joppy. He's got to get off those ropes quickly.
Well, the referee can't stop this, surely. Not yet,
Look how jaded William Joppy is. And Hopkins so badly wants this knockout.
I said let him out. Okay, you just wait. Time go by.
$50,000 on this.
Big right hand, a minute to do it.
William Joppy may deserve to see the bell, but the executioner takes no prisoners.
Now showing a sign of tiredness, Hopkins. We'll forgive him for that.
Put your hand back. Come on. Get your hands
And
free.
Joppy looks like, unless he takes a big shot, he's going to make
Put your
it.
hand back. Put your hand back.
Look at the state of their faces, their legs, their bodies. And you can see what's happened throughout these 12 rounds. Joppy again on the ropes, courageous.
He's got to fire back.
All right, stop punching. Let him out. Come on, let's walk it up.
Clinging in there, William Joppy. Hopkins is running out of
All right,
time.
stop punching. I got you.
Just
Let me
over
handle.
20 seconds left.
Everybody knows about this bet. It's been so well publicised. The arena here, so excited.
Looks like he's going to lose the
Let
bet,
that go. Walk it
but
up.
win even more fans here in Atlantic City. Bernard Hopkins has put on an absolutely brilliant boxing display. The crowd rise to salute one of our best pound-for-pound boxers. We're lucky enough to be here to commentate on him at ringside and back home. Boys, you're lucky enough to have seen this.
Yeah, brilliant performance. And the face says it all, doesn't it, of William Joppy? Look at those grotesque swellings on either side. Hardly a mark on Hopkins. He's boxed the number 2 in the world and nothing, no effect. Easy. He really wanted that finish, didn't he? Didn't get it though. Joppy, to be fair to him, you know, so gutsy. Gave so much. And as you said, Adam, it wasn't a brilliant fight. It was a bit one-sided, but a brilliant display and something that I'm privileged to have seen.
Bernard Hopkins remains unbeaten in a decade. He's still by far the best middleweight in the world, even though he owes William Joppy 50,000 of his 325,000.
Yeah, so he's on 275,000. One of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world for that.
Bowie Fischer back with his prodigal son, arm round him, and Hopkins I think wants to go over to see the very deflated and puffed up William Joppy. A lot of bad feeling before the fight, but I'm sure there's mutual respect afterwards.
Well, we saw the way Ricardo Mayorga went over to Corey Spinks, you know, that's all thrown out the window after the fight. Respect is gained and earned. That's the way, that doesn't hurt. Just shove it in my face, doesn't matter.
He'll be so despondent, William Joppy. He gave everything he could, but look at the fresh face of Bernard Hopkins. We don't know for definite because we wait for the judges' cards.
Yeah,
they are
we do
Melvina
know.
Nathan, John Stewart and Stephen Weisfeld. Of course we do, Nicky, but it's got to be made official. That's what they're there for. We all know every one of the 12,376 people, including Tyson Lewis, Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns, the Spinxes, Trinidad, and you and me. Bernard Hopkins is the world middleweight champion, and rightly so.
Well, I scored it 119 to 109, and I can't see how it'll be any different to that, really.
We finished the year with an exquisite performance, display of boxing skills from a man who came up the hard way, who learnt the sport, who was saved by the sport, and is now rewarding the boxing public with his every fight. Maybe Shane Mosley, maybe De La Hoya next.
We go to the scorecards. Melvina Lathan scores it 119 to 109. John Stewart has it 118 to 109. And Stephen Weisfeld scores it 119 to 108. All for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Bernard the Executioner Hopkins.
Bernard Hopkins, one of the best fighters in the world, a 10 out of 10 display, and I hope you enjoyed it back home.
I'm willing to cut off 2 pounds and come down at 57, maybe 56. If it's De La Hoya, I'll cut off my right leg to come down to 56 for my title. But I need people to stop protecting him. And I mean, I'm not coming down on y'all. Just y'all want to see the best fight for the fans. I mean, I love De La Hoya's face, but yeah, you know, he got the looks, I got the other looks. It's a big money fight, and everybody wants to see it. I don't want, Mayoga didn't come through tonight. I don't want Mayoga now, and that's, Mayoga is a gutty fighter.
What about Spinks?
But Corey Spinks, the Jinx, I would love to have an opportunity, but he's not a middleweight. Me and him, we talk. He's not a middleweight. He wants Shane now. Look, let's get the Oscar. That's the big money fight. If Roy Jones want to come out at 170 after he looked with Tarver, I'll be willing and love to take that.